are many benefits, obviously, but what is the key benefit for the private sector business that's already operating, you think, on the continent?
Fundamentally, there are three issues that the full implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area will unlock. Number one is to unlock opportunities in trade, in business, which with backward linkages goes all the way to agriculture, and with it, job creation. So there is a value chain, a value chain benefit from productivity through agro-processing that creates jobs and creates value, to SMEs that then participate in markets and trade and business. So there is a lot that can be unlocked, and that is why I said that the full implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area is going to add additional income of up to $450 billion and has the potential to lift up to 30 million Africans out of poverty in the following manner. That whole trade infrastructure taps into the skills, the expertise, the knowledge of our young people and brings young people into the center of trade, investment, and business, either working in our agro-processing and value addition ecosystems, or whether it is value addition of agricultural products, value addition of our minerals, value addition in our motor vehicle assemblies, technology assemblies, and the whole of that space. And secondly, apart from job creation, and I'm talking about real jobs, that's what we are experiencing, for example, in Kenya. We're doing more in our county aggregation and industrial parks to add value to our products. We're working with the special economic zones to add value to our products, both for consumption locally and for trade with other countries. That's number one. Number two, it brings the private sector into the equation. And with it, private sector expertise, private sector capital to support the whole growth of the African continent. Private sector will come in as processors. They will come in as traders. They will come in as logistics. They will work with institutions or corporations like Ethiopian Airlines, Kenya Airways. These are corporations that will benefit in enabling logistic movement of the products we produce in our continent. And therefore, it benefits the young people of our continent, and Kenya and Africa, for that matter, being a very young continent, there is need to deliberately create opportunities for work. Number two, there is also need to deliberately support micro, small, and medium enterprises run by young people, run by women, and everybody in that ecosystem, by leveraging on private sector expertise and private sector capital. And then finally, it translates into economic activity, it translates into wealth generation, wealth creation, and finally dovetails into the prosperity of our continent, and Kenya and Africa contributing meaningfully to global trade. As we talk today, Africa contributes only 3% of global trade. Yet we have 1.4 billion people. That is not commensurate with what our wealth and our contribution should be. And therefore, the full implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area holds a special place in job creation, in driving our micro, small, and medium enterprise ecosystem, in creating wealth, and in eventually making Africa prosperous. And that is why we are invested in making sure it works. In November this year, in Angola, we will be discussing the reform of the Africa Union to be a fit-for-purpose organization. My colleagues, African heads of state and government, chose me as the champion for the reform of these institutions. And we are aligning our institutions so that they better serve our continent, our young continent, to better serve the young people that we have in our continent. And therefore, we are focused on making sure that working with partners like Japan and other partners, and as I told you, we will not only be having this conversation with Japan, we will be having this conversation with the US, we will be having this conversation with the EU, because we believe there is value that Africa can bring into the equation. Value of the assets that we have, whether it is our agricultural land, value that we have in our natural minerals, value that we can bring of our big market, and especially realizing that 1 in every 4 people in the world will live in the African continent by 2050. So we will form the largest market, and it is us as leaders of today to prepare ourselves and the entire space to be ready for the Africa that we are looking forward to in the very near future.
Your Excellency, thank you so much. Seems like to me, thank you. The private sector, I think the role, as I mentioned, is all about value creation. So that's what it leads to, I believe. Ishiguro-san, the same question. In full implementation, what does it mean for the private sector?
AfCFTA